Yeah, but okay. So I want to do something like a quick rating of like the postseasons. I'm not gonna say back too far. I'm gonna say like let's say when the Steph Curry revolution began, right? Let's say the 2014-15 season when the Steph Curry when I started getting hoed. The NBA Finals of the postseason was Warriors Cavs. That'll be pretty simple. Jared, your team did not make it. Obviously, Zach, your team did not make it. I made it. I lost in 5 to Steph Curry, of course. Lost to Steph Curry. Can y'all if you've watched it, since you two have watched it, John, I don't know if you watched it. I don't think you watched this postseason, but if you have watched this postseason, how would you rate that postseason from 1 to 10? If you can remember. And I'll tell you some key moments in the postseason to help jog your memory. The Clippers blew a 3-1 lead to the Houston Rockets. Chris Paul hit a game winner against San Antonio with that hammy injury. He threw a floater up. The Grizzlies lost to the Warriors. That's when Steph Curry hit like a very like almost full court shot, turned around, threw a full court shot in, and everyone in Memphis was like, this is not real. He can't be doing this. This is witchcraft. And that's when the Hawks randomly won 60 games and got swept by LeBron because they have no plot. And the Cavs were in the finals, lost in 6 because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were not present. So from just even if you and John, you can even rate it from what I just told you. Like from what I just said, you can even rate it like how does it sound? But from 1 to 10, how good of a postseason? I would tell you that's a 6 because freaking Kyrie got her pissed me freaking off. It's like a freaking 6 to me. But what do y'all think? And anyone can be first because all 3 of y'all are muted.
For me is pretty exciting. Like I didn't have any bias. I'm still relatively new to like fully committing to basketball, and obviously the Warriors are an exciting team to watch. So I'd give it like a 7, maybe an 8.
It's not bad, 7, 8. Zach, you watching some postseason basketball? What do you think from 1 to 10?
Are you talking about the
that whole yeah, that postseason? What would you rate that?
Since I started watching it?
Oh no, from that postseason, 14-15. With Steph Curry.
14-15, okay.
When Steph Curry won his first championship.
Yeah, I mean that really revolutionized basketball. So I mean, I liked it definitely. I mean, I don't have anything against Steph Curry and the Warriors. I know a lot of people do, but I personally have no problem with them. So watching them play, I mean, especially the way they, with all the passing they do, they play good defense. They, like I said, they share the rock, so that's fun to watch to me. So I give it a good rating.
I hated all of it. John, from what I told you.
Standpoint, though, you have to kind of.
Was that the year everybody got hurt in the finals?
Yeah, when Kyrie and Kevin Love were both not playing.
Who was the guy that stepped up for Cleveland?
Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah. But I mean, that was kind of exciting a little bit. So I'd probably say like a 6.5.
Yeah, they're up. The Cavs are up 2-1.
Based off the finals, because I do watch every final, so I'll just base it off of that. I can't do the whole postseason until like 2018-ish.
That helps. Okay, I got you. The next one, 15-16, 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Wonderful postseason. I sucked. The Rockets were terrible, and I enjoyed it. Freaking the Thunder blow a 3-1 lead. Golden State blow a 3-1 lead. That's obviously 2 most important things in this whole entire equation. Those 2 3-1 leads blown. I know that's the 2 biggest things, obviously. But, boy, the Cavaliers winning that championship, boy, that's such heavy weight, boy. That's just like, oh, that is so great. Where do y'all rank that? To me, that's a perfect score, 1,000%.
I've never been a huge LeBron fan.
Interesting.
Ever. So him winning kind of brought it down a little bit. But I'd still give it an 8. It was still a really good postseason.
You wanted Steph Curry to win, huh?
I did.
I definitely did not. I definitely rooted for LeBron. What about and John? You probably watched this postseason, or not this postseason, the finals, right? So, what do you think?
Honestly, I was going for the Warriors as well. It's because like I seen a lot of people talking like, oh, the only reason Steph won was because all the players from Cleveland got hurt. So
and that's true.
So at that point, like I don't know. I was like, all right, let's see. Like I want him to prove himself. Like he's that guy now. But obviously, Kyrie was like, "You gonna call me Robin? I'm gonna show you Robin."
Interesting. That's what he thought too. And Steph ain't say nothing to that.
He said, "I'm the captain now." So
that man LeBron was clearly
LeBron was a Robin.
No,
so
LeBron.
that's why he passed him the ball. He's like, "Hey, bro, I'll be robbing for this time and just.
Oh yeah, for this moment. Yeah, for this moment. Yeah,
for like the team, but you know,
LeBron clearly batted that whole series. That man did a lot.
But yeah, I definitely was going for the Warriors. So I'll say I don't know. That was pretty interesting. Like, and then what happened with but I was rooting for the Thunder, and then you know, and my cousin a big Thunder fan, and they were all dancing and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Warriors won a game where like Curry hit like a half court shot or something like that. Like he was dribbling the ball up. Oh, was that not them?
That was the regular season. That was the same year.
Regular season. Oh,
that was the double. That's the double bang. No, but like that definitely was like, because that's when I realized, oh, this guy is, that was a revolutionary moment. That's like the biggest shot he's ever made, because that, like, the whole world was like, oh, this guy here, he's taking pull-up shots like that's freaking ridiculous. It pissed me off. But the Thunder was giving him the beats in that freaking postseason, and then all of a sudden freaking Plot came up, and then they can't freaking make a shot no more. Plot is such a.
And then I think Westbrook was like, "I like when Curry guard me." Was that year?
Yeah, that's not good for Plot. It was
just going great, man. It was just going great, and next thing you know, they just turned up on him.
That's stupid though. Like I told you, they don't understand Plot. Like you know, this is the team that's supposed to be the dynasty, and I'm gonna poke the bear, and now I can't make no shot. Now I can't make a shot, and now Klay Thompson hitting all these three. It's freaking. Hey, Plot's beautiful, man. I tell you, I call it every time.
Then Klay backdoor, because that was, I don't know if that was the year that Draymond, what he had called? He called LeBron something.
He called him a bitch.
LeBron got mad, and then Klay was like, I guess he got his feelings hurt.
And then LeBron got pissed, and LeBron did that smile, that laugh, and then their Plot went the other way. Now LeBron destroy you. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand Plot. You don't poke the bear because you don't know who got the plot. So make sure to keep quiet and see and let the script progress. But see, they must have.
Yeah, I'll get at a 10 then.
That's beautiful. It's funny. It's exciting and funny because that's hilarious how freaking Klay Thompson pissed off LeBron like that. He's like, he did a little laugh like that. That was good. That's good. And then they got KD, and then they got ruined. Zach, what do you think? What do you think about that postseason?
I would rank that like double what I ranked the previous season, just because coming back down that much in the finals weren't teams, I think 0-71 or something like that.
Yeah, didn't win. Never won.
Yeah, never won. I mean, that's history. Like, I mean, you can't even debate that. Like, so that right there, and plus LeBron, he's one of my favorite players. So
the opposite of Jared.
yeah, which is also weird on why I say I don't mind watching the Warriors win, but
I'll tell you, hey. When we talk about LeBron being the GOAT, the reason why we talk about LeBron being the GOAT is literally because of his Cleveland run. And literally that championship. Like when he was in Miami, we didn't call him the GOAT. That Cleveland, 4 years at Cleveland is what got him that. Because all those finals performances and that very important win. That is the most important championship of all time. Period. Number one championship ever is that one. That's going to help your case a lot. So congratulations. And if you go back to my Instagram back then, I immediately said LeBron is the second greatest player of all time. Because I didn't care about no Kobe, rest in peace. I didn't care about no Shaq, no one else. I don't care about Magic Johnson. When he did that, that's good Plot. That's the main character right there, baby. But unfortunately, Steph Curry is also a main character, which moves me to the next year. They add KD, and that whole Plot thing goes away. That postseason is a freaking 1. That postseason was freaking awful. How you go from a 10 to a 1? Not only did I make the postseason, and James Harden's whole legacy of terrible postseason play comes to this one stupid game. That stupid Game 6 against San Antonio when he literally decided not to play basketball that day. I don't know what happened. Because like the crazy thing is like, I don't know what, because you can say, well, he choked, but it's like, why didn't you not shoot more? You definitely could have shot 25 or 30 times and just shoot 2 of 30. And I'd be like, okay, that's terrible. But he shot like 10 times. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you not shooting? Like, or is this rigged? Like, what are you doing? What type of plot is this? He had 10 points and he shot like 10 times. I hated that. You also factor in the freaking Golden State was running through all of the NBA. And then when they faced Cleveland, I was thinking, okay, Cleveland. Cleveland also ran through the NBA. I think Cleveland swept everybody on their way to the finals too. So I was like, okay. Let's see. I think it's going to be a good matchup. Maybe a 6-7 game series. Katie said, F what you talking about. I looked at that whole series. I was like, yo, literally the difference is KD's destroying them. Like, I know if KD won there, I think Cleveland Golden State would be hard 7-game series. Bro, KD is averaging 35 on like 60% shooting. It's freaking stupid. And you got Steph Curry over there. That postseason was so awful. I watched hockey. I said, I'm going to watch freaking hockey now. It was so freaking terrible. What do y'all think?
So I think this kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier when you were asking, do you stay and be a Robin or do you go and make your own destiny? And, you know, not every championship is created equal. Like you just said, KD went and made his own destiny in a sense.
And no one respects it. No one
respects it. So I think it depends. Like, not every championship is created equal. So, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I remember I was working and this guy told me, he was like, KD just went to the Warriors. And I'm like, it's like, quit playing. He's like, I'm serious. I was like, quit playing. And he showed me the phone. I'm like, nah, that's fake. Like, that can't be real. So, yeah, that's like a 2 or something.
That's so. One of my friends, before y'all say something, one of my friends said, because he a KD fan, he talking about some, KD championships weigh just as much as LeBron's. I said, boy, that's cap. Freaking LeBron's freaking championship falls to the freaking ground when you put a weight on it. KD's championship flies up. There is no weight on it. No one respects that. Like, he don't even respect the freaking championships. Don't freaking talk to me about that. Jared, Zach, what do y'all think, man? What do you think about that awful postseason?
Give it like a 6.
How you give it a 6?
It's still entertaining to watch.
Who was entertaining? Freaking Kawhi Leonard hurt his ankle and they got sweat. What was entertaining about anything?
Oh, I forgot
LeBron
about
losing was entertaining.
That happened too. It was terrible. Postseason was awful.
Yeah, and then it looked like it was intentional, so that's what made it worse. And they
dirty
were up
play.
by they were up by a lot. He's like, you know what? If you can't beat them,
hurt them.
That's crazy. So
I said they knew it. And they didn't win another game. I thought Kawhi would come back the next game or 2 games. Didn't win again. I said, this is trash. I hate all this. But go ahead. Jared,
that was
Zach.
kind of his downfall. Like,
oh, yeah, that's the last time he played well for San Antonio. Ruined San Antonio, too. Golden State, boy. They ruined a lot of teams.
Was that the year when Draymond basically clawed LeBron's eye out when he got his hand stuck in LeBron's eye?
Oh, you made him. I remember he hit James Harden in the eye. I remember that. But
that was just such a dirty series. Like, the whole playoffs was just so dirty.
John, what you about to say? You went off mute.
No, I was gonna say I remember that because I remember LeBron eye being super red.
It was nasty.
It's kind of like how Deshaun Watson eye was.
Oh yeah, he did get poked in the eye.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I remember that.
I say, that literally, that postseason was so bad. That's when my GM said, okay, we gotta do something about this because there's no way we could just let this slide. Like, you can't. They won 16-1. I hated all of it too. The Cavaliers won that one game because they just got hot for that one day in Game 4. But we know, like, they're not winning. And then people saying KD better than LeBron. I said, no, he's not. KD has the best spacing of all time. Like, of course like, Kyrie's cool, but he's not better than Steph Curry. And Kevin Love never show up in these finals. And Klay Thompson do. And they got Draymond Green as well. Nah, it's okay. Let's go to a better time. This is more biased for me because the 2017-18 postseason was really good till it wasn't. But I was doing my thing until I lost in Game 7. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't even think because the West, the East was interesting because LeBron was like carrying, like put his backpack on and had literally the best performances of all time in postseason. And then freaking J.R. Smith squandered what could have been the best game of his career by not knowing the score. And like I said, that's how you know there's plot. Because I tell y'all, man. One game 7, the Rockets missed 27 threes, and then the next game and they lose, right? Golden State goes to the next game. The next game, LeBron drops 51, 49 in regulation. And you're telling me there's an NBA player who just does not know the score at the end of a game in the NBA Finals? Not only that, but they're at the free throw line, so the game is paused. So you have time to, like, know what's happening, and he did not know the score. That's plot. That's clearly, it's clearly plot. Like, that happens to no one besides you. Congratulations. I'm going to give that a 7 because I was cool until I wasn't. But y'all are not as biased as me. So y'all can obviously give it a higher or lower score if you choose. But there ain't much to talk besides the LeBron run and then me blowing my lead.
Yeah, I'm super biased too. That's the year Chris Paul got hurt.
Yeah.
Was that? That year was going so great. When I saw him shimmying, I was like, man, this really our year.
No, I saw plot.
I mean, as a Cowboy fan, I say that a lot, but at that point, I was like, we're gonna beat LeBron. I was like, come on, man, that felt too amazing. And then he got hurt. I'm like, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll put my trust in Harden. He MVP and all of that. So and I don't care what anybody say about the 27 missed threes. I didn't see that happening. The only person I seen missing threes was Trevor Ariza. Like,
and he was missing all of them, boy.
Yeah.
All of them.
He was the only person. But like, I didn't realize our team had missed 27 straight. Because even if they missed 27 straight, the score was still kind of like close, if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, I had to go to sleep right after that game. Then a couple nights later, or however long later, I'm watching. Obviously, I'm rooting for LeBron. I didn't like the Warriors at that moment
at all.
And LeBron had this historical game, and that was the first time I watched. And like, man, somebody took over the game. Like, somebody is super important, like vital to this team. And I look around LeBron's team, and that was like the first time I ever thought that he pretty much, like, if he wasn't scoring, he had assists, like everything. So I was like, man, this is great. This is a great game. And next thing I know, the guy missed the free throw, and JR, like, when he grabbed the ball, I looked around. I'm like, what is he doing? And obviously he was doing something he wasn't supposed to. And then you see LeBron over there like, bro, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Meme forever.
You saw Draymond clapping his hand like, you fucked up, right? So that whole moment was just crazy. And then obviously everybody knew if they went into overtime, that game was going to be over. So
LeBron then broke his hand.
The whole series was over.
He broke his hand too because he was pissed, which also hurt the fact that now you really can't win because the only best player on your team broke his hand.
Wait, when did he do that?
He got pissed. Locker room. He hit like a board or something, and he broke like one of the bones in his hand. So I was like, the plot.
He wasn't gonna win any more games. So it's like, he gave everything he had. I don't think they was gonna win anymore after that. But I definitely thought they would win that game. And on top of that, the Warriors, like, the refs were cheating for the Warriors. So I was really rooting for LeBron. Or even if they weren't cheating, they were like super biased. Like, I was like, if you have a team that's like obviously head and shoulders better, you should be cheating for the opposite team. Like, you should have been cheating for the Cavs to make it competitive. Why are you
at home cooking?
So
at home cooking. You know what sucked though? I'm telling you something about that, John. How come they get home cooking? I didn't get a home cooking. How come my game 7 Scott Foster rigging the game against me? What the heck is that? That's why you get a game 7 to get home cooking. Where are my calls at? There ain't no way. That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
I'm just saying, like, if you you gotta come down like the NBA. You have to tell the refs like, all right, we want favorable calls for Cleveland. Obviously, they're not gonna win, but at least make it entertaining. At least make the fans have some type of hope. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are the Warriors getting every call or even favorable calls? So I think that was the same year KD had stepped out of bounds against the Rockets.
Oh no, that was the next year.
That was the next year. All right, cool, gotcha.
Yeah, still home me though. But we still won because now James said F the plot. I'm gonna break the plot.
That was one of the greatest. Besides the LeBron game, I say that's probably the second greatest game I ever seen. But I played.
Good comeback too.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. Jared, what do you think, man? You were close. You were the ninth seed. You were close to making the postseason. You lost to Minnesota.
Yeah, no, we're still not in it. Gotta wait till next year. I think at this point, everything with the Warriors was starting to get boring to me.
Yeah, it got bored to me immediately.
Repetitive. So I wasn't following too closely. It's just, you kind of knew what was going to happen. You kind of saw how it was going. And
let me ask you, who are you rooting for? Rockets versus Warriors. Who are you rooting for? You didn't know me at this time, so who are you rooting for?
I know you be hating on the Cowboys, so this is a good question.
The Rockets.
You root for the Rockets?
Yeah, I have a lot of family that are Rockets fans. Okay. Yeah,
I had to make sure. I was gonna judge. I was gonna judge your whole character off of that. But, I'm Zach. Who are you rooting for? Rockets or Warriors?
In this particular one, it was the Rockets. Even though I was not very much a fan of, I've never been a fan of Chris Paul because of his flopping. Like, man, just to me, even this season he hasn't done it a lot, but last night he did against the Kings. But you got to expect at least one or two. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of him. But at the same time, I'd rather watch the Rockets win it all than the Warriors. So.
Yeah, they already got 2. Let me face LeBron. I think we would have beaten LeBron in 6 though. I know LeBron would have taken. If he did that to us.
It would have been tough. Yeah, it would have been tough though.
And oh yeah, that's right. You're from California, right?
Yes, sir.
What part?
So I was born in Los Angeles. So I mean, really, I should just I think technically, if we're going geographically, I should be like a Clippers fan, but I used to watch a lot of highlights. Huh?
How are you guys towards other teams? Like as a Rockets fan, I don't care too much about the Mavs, or like I don't hate on them. Like if they win something, it's not a big deal to me. So is it like that for you guys as well? Like, are you hating on the Warriors, or it don't matter if they win? Oh, okay, yeah.
I really don't.
Basketball's not really like that.
I really don't even hate the Lakers.
Yeah. No way I'm rooting for the Texans.
Zach, y'all have a rival, right?
Yeah. I guess it technically would be the Lakers, even though in our rivalry it's like the Lakers have won like way over majority of the games. But
they did hold you. They did hold you crazy in that one.
Yeah, it would be the Lakers. So.
Oh well.
The Suns too.
Oh yeah, that should be a rival. Yeah, you hate Chris Paul.
Yeah, Suns is a big one too, especially this season. So I think we're 3-1 against them.
Well, Zach, I'll tell you one thing too. When you do get to this postseason, you will. I hope you will build a rivalry, because usually that's how you build your rivalries, is when you're in heated competition and something bad happens to you, and then you get very resentful.
so like the Mavericks and Phoenix from last postseason. They hate each other now. They hate each other.
Resentful. You see what I'm saying? Devin Booker is resentful.
Luka and Booker, man, those two.
Resentful. It's beautiful. Love it. Or Grizzlies, Warriors, they're resentful. Why? Postseason play. That's how it is. That's how it works. Why do I hate the Warriors? They beat us in the postseason. And Steph Curry took my MVP.
Crap talking self.
It's beautiful. Build it up. I'm here for it. Kings, get ready. Get you a rival. It's fun to have. I told you, it's fuel. It fuels your existence, right? In every sport, get you a rival. Fuels your existence. I hate the Yankees. I hate the Warriors, because the Warriors ruined me for years, and it's just ridiculous. And Texans, I'm kind of chill. We suck. There's nothing really to hate right now. There's nothing really to hate. I'll hate when I get good again. I was supposed to hate the Chiefs, but I just give that to Jared. I'll let Jared hate the Chiefs because he has to go through.
Patrick Mahomes is just otherworldly right now.
And yeah, Jared, I told you you're gonna deal with that for many years.
Oh yeah.
But hey, Nuggets. We're on the Nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Nuggets are around though. Broncos had a good offseason.
They had a good offseason, but you know who the main character is. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, you know who the main character is.
I'm just happy it wasn't the Eagles. I'm happy. I cannot stand the Eagles, man. Philadelphia.
Look, 49ers fan and Cowboys fan getting together. That's fun, man. Yeah, both hate.
Well, they whooped our butt in the NFC game, and all they did was talk the entire time. I'm just like, if we didn't have Josh Johnson at quarterback, we probably would have had a better chance. The dude can barely throw a regular ball. You put someone's dad in the game, and he probably would have completed more passes.
Hey, look, yeah, John would say, it was a Mickey Mouse road to the Super Bowl. Had a great shot at winning the Super Bowl, but hey, look, y'all, both of y'all are very happy. Jared is not. The main character wins in the end. Patrick Mahomes, who would win the Super Bowl. I can't wait to get back to football too, for sure, because that's some good main character stuff. There's still a main character in the NBA, of course. 18-19. John, you're very relevant. You know what's happening here. This postseason was really fun. I'm going to give it a 10. I'm giving it a 10 because Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater, Damian Lillard buzzer beater, the freaking Warriors lost. That's so great. I love it too. Kawhi Leonard beat the freaking Warriors. Toronto Raptors was a great team for me. The Bucks, Kawhi and that Wall messed with the Bucks, and Drake was amazing on the sideline doing all types of antics. Those antics were hilarious. Great memes in those antics. It was entertainment at its finest. And Jared, you entered the postseason. You had 2 Game 7s in that postseason. 2 Game 7s. The Spurs took you hard, boy. The Spurs were almost there, boy. You know what I'm saying? I told you the postseason get hard. Look, Zach, I told Jared, these postseason play get hard. And it was hard as hell for Jared. 2 Game 7s, and the second Game 7, CJ McCullough pulled it out. I think y'all missed like 16, 17 straight threes. Y'all trying to be like us, but y'all can't be like us. And y'all lost the game. That's entertaining. And then we obviously lost. Kevin Durant got hurt, but then Steph Curry said F that and beat us anyways. I say that's a 10. Even though it was a terrible loss for me, I say that's a 10. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'll give it a 10 as well. I had just bought a 55-inch TV, so I literally watched every game. I probably don't remember that much. Is that the year the Clippers, did they face the Warriors that year?
They came back down 30, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first year that somebody said I'm him. Because I remember he's like, I'm KD, you know who I am.
Oh, yeah, you know I am. And
So even that game was pretty entertaining. Obvious. I mean, even though it should have been like even I think Pat Beverly, he was like, it's KD, they're a better team, et cetera, et cetera. What you want us to do? Or
him and
they
Lou
were
Williams
asking, the reporters were asking Lou Williams, like, what was the game plan to like stop him? And he was like, you tell us. So that game was entertaining. Then I remember the Magic. I don't know who they played, but I just remember all the games entertaining. And then I'm watching.
We went to a game. We went to a game too.
Oh.
Rockets Jazz.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Jazz. Yeah, that probably was the most boring.
I know, but we went to, and I was happy. I didn't want to see no close game. I did not want no close game to hurt my heart. I said, blow them out. That's what we need to blow them out, beat them in 5, and let's move on to the next round. Face this freaking ridiculous team. I need to get as much rest as possible.
Well, I mean, I guess, but that's not entertaining to me. Like, because that's the game where you get up and leave. I mean, obviously, we weren't going to get up and leave because too much we can't afford those tickets to. Yeah. But that was probably my least favorite series out of all of them.
You know what we would have done too? Petty stuff. If the Clippers won Game 6, we would have the Rockets team would have went to Game 7 and sat courtside and watched Clippers versus Warriors. I would have loved that level of power. Like, let's get it. Beef, pettiness. Because look, the Warriors were overlooking the Clippers after Game 3. The Klay Thompson was like, yeah, well, Houston just won 3-0. We're gonna they were. He was in the press conference when they talking to report. He talking about the Rockets. Like, so we know, like, the beef's here, like, we gonna face each other. But if they F around lose to the Clippers, I'm gonna be a courtside and watch your downfall. But of course, Kevin Durant was not gonna let that happen. Drop 50. We couldn't go to Game 7, and we had to play Game 1 in Golden State. So, and that's when they started poking James Harden in the eye and landing in the shooting space. I guess that was their get back. That was unfortunate. I think Scott Foster reffed that too, because of course he did. Jared.
Yeah, and I watched the Kawhi shot. I watched it live, so when I was like, who was I was rooting for. I was actually rooting for because I like Jimmy Butler, and he's not from Houston. He's from Tomball, so don't say from Houston. I'll give that one a 10 as well. Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. Most entertaining I've seen, man.
I guess never mind, because the finals, people did get hurt.
I don't care about. Okay,
I'll give it an 8, 8.5.
I mean,
it wasn't a complete like the year when the Cavs came back 3-1. Like, there's no asterisk. Like, there's nothing to say. Like, every team was fully healthy. Although I do believe, and then KD he ruptured his Achilles and all of that year, so it wasn't like even though I wanted Toronto to win, and I think. Kawhi Leonard had one of those, that postseason, like, he went crazy, like, one of the greatest postseasons I ever seen by a player, like, because I watched the entire thing this time. So, I can't take that away from him, but at the same time, it's like, you didn't go against a fully healthy Warriors, so I'll give him an 8.5.
The Warriors don't go against anyone fully healthy. F the Warriors. Jared, what is that? What is that for? What it's...
Man, I'd probably give it around a 9. I honestly didn't watch the East too closely in the playoffs, but just from the West, the back-to-back Game 7s from the Nuggets, man, it was intense and stressful, but I loved it.
I don't love my game. My Game 7s are stressful as hell. Oh my gosh, I can't take a Game 7. But Zach, you about to enter a Game 7? If you get to a Game 7, which is very possible. Oh man, I can't sleep. Boy, I'm like, oh please, oh my gosh, I need to win this stupid game. Zach, what do you think? But what do you think about that specific postseason, the 18-19 postseason with the Toronto Raptors winning the championship?
I think that was, to me, that was one of my honest favorite ones to watch. Like, I remember that one. I was pretty heavily involved in watching it just because Kawhi wasn't by himself with it all, but he was the leader of that team, and he was there to show what he was capable of without Pop, without just the great Spurs players that he was around. So watching him really prove that in that 1 year he's in Toronto and he brings them their first ever championship, and especially coming from a guy that watches a team that hasn't won a championship since World War II, it's awesome to watch, man. So that was my favorite series, especially with the game winner in the semifinals against the 76ers, and it's the 76ers from Philly, who I don't like. Man, I'm telling you, that's why it's 10 out of 10 for me.
I feel you, man. Hey, that's good.
That was the year Embiid was crying and all of that.
Yes, he was crying.
That
Did he
was
got it in Embiid's face, or was it Ben Simmons?
No, Ben Simmons didn't cry. Ben Simmons didn't cry. Joel
No,
Embiid
I
definitely.
meant the Kawhi shot, was that over Ben? That was over Embiid.
No,
that was over Embiid.
It was over.
Okay,
He got all of it.
Yeah, because he switched off of him, and Embiid tried to block him. Like
it said doink, doink.
Yeah, and his little like
he had enough time.
He
to
was like mid fall. He was like falling over, and he was just everybody was just watching the ball, and it just rolled in, and oh my god, yeah, that was awesome.
Hey yo, yeah, I watched it live. I was like, for some reason, I was like, I think something's gonna happen. I don't know why. I just like, I'm gonna put on my LeBron hat because cap star. But I'm like, for some reason, I think he gonna make this. I don't know, because it's a tie. When it's a tie game, I just feel like you have less pressure. You could be a little more fluid with it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, he gonna miss. It was like doink. I was like, wait, doink. Oh, and it fell in, and then everyone was like, that's 10 out of 10.
I don't know, man. Kawhi Leonard on a mid range. He's basically money.
I'll tell you this: the Raptors, y'all should retire his jersey. That's the only retire. Cause I said, bro, that's the best thing you ever had. You never had something like that. I don't think you ever had like that. Is your guy? That's the best player to ever play for you. Period. For 1 year, I was working when I was in doing door to door. I was working with a bunch of Canadians. And they were all Toronto Raptors fans, so we watched the Game 6 end of it, and it was like, oh my gosh, they finally saw Plot for the first time. I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe we won. And I said, but Kawhi's leaving though. He's going to LA. I said, why would he leave? Why would he leave? The whole country loves him. Why would he leave? Because you don't have that much plot. How much plot do you think you have? You think you'll have him forever? No, he's going to LA. I'm sorry. 1920. This is my last postseason, and it was stressful as hell. In the bubble. In that beautiful bubble. Now, Jared, you should say 10 out of 10 for you. Because, wow, what a postseason, huh?
Jamal Murray.
What a postseason for you. Me? No. I give it a 6.5. That Game 7 was freaking terrible. That Game 7, we won. James played so bad, though, in that Game 7. And I was like, oh, please. And then Lou Dort was hitting all his threes. And I was like, Lou Dort never shoots. Why is he hitting threes now, Game 7? What plot is this? I hate this happening right now. And I know Lou Dort he got a shot. He got that shot and James Harden blocked it. I was like, but James Harden did not block that shot. Lou Dort made that shot. Do you know how much I have to leave Houston? If Lou Dort is a game winner over you and he has 33 and you have 16, do you understand how terrible that is? Oh my gosh. I think he blocked it, then he jumped because Lou tried to throw it off of him and he jumped up and it went out of bounds. I said, I can't take Game 7s, bro. Game 7s are freaking I too stressful. I can't take games. We faced the Lakers. We won Game 1. Russell got very cocky. He's like, yeah, I can shoot. He hit a 3, got very happy. Turns out he can't shoot anymore after that. He missed every 3 he took after that, and we lost in 5 games accordingly. That's terrible. But the Nuggets, you came back down 3-1 twice. I wanted the Clippers to win because I want to see Clippers versus LA. You did blow that from me. That's tough. But, that did ruin. Paul George hit the side of the backboard in that Game 7. That's terrible. Kawhi Leonard shot terrible, too. That whole bubble experience was so stupid. The finals was kind of bad because Miami was heavily injured. LeBron. And I'll tell you one thing, LeBron, that's the only time LeBron's been in the postseason. And there was a team in the finals, and it was a team that was actually worse than his. And you can say he should beat this team easily. Like, that usually never happens. Maybe with the Mavericks, but and obviously that didn't work out for him. But against Miami, I was like, oh, he going to beat Miami because usually he's facing Golden State, San Antonio, all these all-time great teams. What do y'all think? If you watched it, Jared, if you want to go first, you could say because you should throw a little party with that conference finals worth. But what do y'all think?
Yeah, I'd give it a 10.
You're biased.
We did lose in the conference finals, but it's 100% biased
for sure.
It's one of the few times I felt like the Nuggets were real and like they had a real chance. But in all my time watching basketball, that was it.
And I'll tell you one thing. The Mickey Mouse bubble. We got the Mickey Mouse ring for LeBron. People might say Jokic had a Mickey Mouse conference finals run. Say, look, you gotta get off that Mickey Mouse. We know what that Mickey Mouse stuff, right? So, but what do y'all, John or Zach? What do y'all think about if y'all watch the bubble?
Yeah, I watched some of it. I don't know. Overall, I'll probably just give it like a 7. I mean, a lot of the games were entertaining because like you got to see like the young superstars like step up. Like Murray, I think, what's his name from the Jazz?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he had a couple good games, and so I mean, it was cool to watch. And obviously we got that Harden block, He usually does it with scoring, but he had that block.
He needed that.
That was a pretty good block. Because he was getting clamped. I ain't gonna lie, he was getting clamped.
He was. So. Lou Dort would have made that 3. He would have made that. I know he would have made that 3. I know my plot. He would have made that 3.
The shot heard around the world. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. LeBron getting him another ring. Me, personally, I don't think it's a such thing as a Mickey Mouse. Because in order for it to be Mickey, you have to have an advantage over everybody else. I didn't see them having an advantage. Like everybody, it was even for everybody. Like nobody. So I don't like. Where's the Mickey in that? If you have the same opportunity as me, how can that be Mickey? Now, if I say the Eagles are Mickey, it's because they lost the starting QB, and then they lost another QB, and then you're down to your running back. That's why that's Mickey. But
that's where it originated from, though. It originated from the Mickey Mouse. That's the whole Mickey phrase came from. That Mickey Mouse clubhouse ring. That's the whole.
I understand where I understand where it come from, but I don't. Okay, well, tell me why it's Mickey.
Well, the reason why people call it Mickey is because when you get rid of the postseason factor of travel and you get rid of the postseason factor of crowd, then there's a better chance that more random players, because it's like shooting in the gym. So there's a better chance that more random players, because like obviously if someone is in the, sitting there, if it's very loud, like if it's very loud and you're on the road in the postseason, like Golden State's advantage, it's like it's really hard to win. So like that's why Milwaukee can most likely lose in the second round, or Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson go off more likely, or TJ Warren can drop 50, and you never heard TJ Warren because there's more variance because there's no travel. There's no, you're not tired like I gotta play another game. Now you're just sitting in a freaking hotel and freaking what my man was it Daniel House? My man got kicked out the bubble because he freaking having sex with freaking maid. Oh god. Hey, that was a good time too. Yeah, boy, that was a good time. But
so from what you're saying, it sounds like it's more difficult because you have to account for everybody being able to go off. Like you just said, typically you know who's gonna go off, and you can game plan for that. But now you're saying anybody's liable to go off. So how does that make it easier? That's more difficult to me.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is another thing. If you look at the competition, LeBron definitely in his competition. Besides, hopefully, I would have hoped the freaking Clippers, but freaking the Nuggets. But the Clippers tried to make an excuse. We didn't want to be here. We didn't even want to be here. So the Clippers made a lot of excuses. But if the Lakers faced Portland, he beat Damian Lillard. Faced us, Russell Westbrook can't make no threes. Freaking Denver, you're not supposed to be. It's like Golden State when they beat Dallas last year. It's like, you're really supposed to face Phoenix, but you're facing Dallas because they freaking choked. Type beat. And then Miami was heavily injured. Mickey Mouse clubhouse. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to go against LeBron. I want you to have those 4 rings. When he faced Miami, I was like, Jimmy Butler, I don't want Jimmy Butler to win no championship. That doesn't hit the same. Let's give it to LeBron. Let LeBron win a championship. But LeBron, the Mickey is for sure going to be remembered forever. And
so are you saying the bubble was Mickey? Or are you saying his competition?
I say both. I still say I
don't know. I mean, I don't see how, like, from what you're saying, it sounds more difficult to me. Because you just said that anybody, TJ,
but it hurts because it hurt them that happening. When more people being able to do different things, what that happened is that it eliminated his competition, such as it eliminated the Clippers and the Bucks, the 2 teams he was supposed to play, but he didn't play because randoms completely choked, or randoms completely went off and messed up the Bucks and the Clippers.
Yeah, but he still had to face those randoms too. Like,
no, but we got no randoms. We lost our randoms. We lost our guy. And then the Portland Trailblazers ain't got no freaking... The Portland Trailblazers got Damian Lillard. There's no randoms. We don't have the ability to give that. We ain't got no plot for that.
Were the Clippers healthy?
Yeah, they were healthy. They just choked.
So, I mean, that's not on him. That's on them.
I know. That's unfortunate, though.
That's not... I don't see how that's, like... Because the same thing could have happened to the Lakers. They just prevailed. No. That's what you're supposed to do.
No, but
they could have went against teams where, like, random people, like you said... Russell hit the big 3.
But that's he can't look. I can expect Jamal Murray.
But you make adjustments. Oh, go ahead.
But I can expect Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, right?
Right.
They're better. I'll say, Jared, your Nuggets team was better than my Rockets team at this point. We transferred it to you.
Agree.
Unfortunately, of course you agree. Unfortunately, though, right? Like, we faced the Lakers. We won game 1. We lost every other game because Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard, I was boy, couldn't do nothing with that. But when you're facing the Clippers, right? The Clippers blowing that 3-1 lead, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic going off, and then Kawhi Leonard. I know if it was in a regular playoff setting, I believe the Clippers are finishing that series. If it's in LA and not with a bunch of like people looking at you through a freaking screen like what we're doing right now and doing fake cheer noises, all that, I believe that the Clippers are winning the game 6 of that at least. They had 10-point leads in the last 3 games. They were leading, some fan noise and some trash talking from the fans, and that energy could have pushed them over, but they choked every time because all they can, well, obviously because they can't hit no shots, but all they hearing is freaking fake crowd noise. Paul George for 3, and okay, let's generate the noise. Okay, put the computer on, generate those cheers. That's what they're doing. That's not organic. You know what I'm saying? And the Bucks also lost in 5 to the Heat. The next year, the Bucks faced the Heat in regular playoff setting. They freaking swept the Heat. Like, get the F out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's the change. It's like when you're in a bubble also, versus in real life, it's like.
But also the next year, like the Clippers, like they still haven't.
They
done
made the conference
anything.
finals. They made the conference finals the next year when they went out of that stupid bubble. They made the conference finals. Took the Suns to 6. They got out the bubble and they did better than in that stupid bubble. But I'm not gonna say nothing about LeBron. LeBron, congratulations for winning that championship. I like talking about LeMickey, though. It's funny. I'm going to call you LeMickey, but you're still one of the greatest players of all time. That's obviously your least valued ring, but it's still valuable because he got one for the Lakers. They would have pissed off, and they would have said, you're not Kobe if you didn't win that championship. So, good job.
I guess we'll have to agree to disagree. I still don't see how that's Mickey. Only way it's Mickey is if you have if you have an advantage over everyone else. Like, everybody had the same competition. Everybody had the same circumstance. No, I mean, you can say you didn't have home court, but nobody had home court. So it's not like the players that are.
I will tell you this. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'll tell you this, though. The Lakers' first 2 series and the Clippers' first 2 series is drastically different. The Clippers had to face Luka Doncic, and Luka Doncic is an MFer in these postseason plays. And then they had to face the Nuggets, who just obviously had Nikola Jokic, who's also, and Jamal Murray. And then, the Lakers had to face Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum's good, but he wasn't doing nothing in that series. And the Rockets are good, but then Russell Westbrook just did not know that. Stop shooting 3-pointers. Like, you're open, they're leaving you open, like, drive. He said, no, shut up, and keep shooting 3s. Freaking terrible. Russell. It's all right.
But did they face the same team that beat the Clippers?
What are you talking about?
The Lakers.
Who? Yeah,
they face the team. Okay, so you acting like
yes, they beat. Yeah, but like the Nuggets plot obviously not gonna run that. Like your plot runs out after a while, and Nikola Jokic couldn't do nothing against Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. So it's different like matchups for that. Hopefully, hey Jared, you face the Lakers.
A better matchup
for that. Yeah, for that series. But the Clippers had a good matchup of 3-1. They just freaking choked it away. It's okay. We'll agree to disagree. Zach, what do you think? Zach, what do you think about that? If you watch that.
I agree with John, to be honest. In that instance, I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, I know y'all basically are disagreeing. But, I mean, it's also funny because if I remember correctly, I believe in the finals, Anthony Davis he wasn't 100% healthy. I think he tweaked his ankle, as always.
I think he did. I mean, I think he played the games, but I think...
Yeah. I mean, he tweaked it to where, like, he could play through it, but, a player not playing 100%, that still will affect the outcome, and he's still arguably it was LeBron won MVP, right?
Yeah, he won MVP.
Yeah, because plot, but arguably AD could have won. I think he actually had statistically he was better, but LeBron is the golden boy. Technically Tyler Hero was the golden boy that year, but
he's going off in the bubble.
Yeah, I like that one. Obviously, no one likes COVID, but the bubble was fun to watch just because it was something different. Definitely not. I wouldn't rate it better than the last 2 years, or the last year. I'm sorry, but I liked it watching the Heat and the Lakers go at it. Even though the Lakers were a little bit more. I'm trying to think of how to word this. The Heat were really just outmatched, honestly, when it came to.
They got injured too.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't the most competitive, but at the same time, watching LeBron win with the Lakers, I mean, that's pretty dope.
But Danny Green helped. He was missing a lot of shots. He helped extend that series. And when Jimmy Butler had that meme where he's like exhausted because he played like 47, 48 minutes, that was good for it.
Yeah, and then you have all these random dudes go off. Like I think Mike Conley was averaging almost 20 points a game. Like when was the last time Mike Conley did something like that?
He can't do that unless he's in a bubble.
Exactly. Donovan Mitchell almost averaged like 40. I think he was at like 36. Like that's insane. So I mean, and Donovan Mitchell not a random. Trust me. Yeah, he's definitely not random. But that was definitely like a look into what he's becoming as a player. So that was definitely fun to watch as like when you're watching the newer players in the league and seeing kind of like what the NBA will look like after LeBron's hangs up his shoes and all that.
Yeah, well, hey, Jared, I would say LeBron. Maybe that might be a reason you hate LeBron too, because he did beat you and win the championship. So, and if he beats you this year, then you have all the reason to hate LeBron, because he ruins Jokic's legacy for good. Was it 2021? That's the Bucks. Kind of a Mickey Mouse road. Definitely the Nets should have won that championship. But none of those three players have a lot of plot. They have plot, but not by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like KD got to act. KD and Curry got to join a main character to get their plot. But when they together, they're not. They're not main characters, right? KD joined Curry. Curry didn't join LeBron, but LeBron joined Curry, right? But by themselves, they got no plot. So and James Harden, doesn't have any plot, right? So James Harden and Kyrie got hurt. KD was going off. Like KD was on some historic greatness, but his foot was on the line. His toenail was on the line, and did not advance. He did not advance, and that is the most significant thing. I know the Hawks went on some ridiculous random run. Ben Simmons lost all of his confidence to play basketball in that postseason, and he's never recovered since. And what else happened in that postseason? I think the Jazz randomly the 1 seed, but in Kawhi Leonard tore his ACL. Paul George played really well, got off that playoff P stuff, and took his team to their first ever conference finals. I'm proud of you, Paul George. But the Suns and Bucks played, and Giannis, he showed me he has some main character potential, and that's good, And Giannis is probably the most improved player in NBA history, because if you look at him his rookie year and look at him now, drastically different. But I give that a 7.5. Nothing crazy really happened. Giannis with the 50-point game, hit all of his free throws randomly. It was pretty interesting. But KD and the Nets definitely should have won that whole thing. It should have been Nets versus Clippers definitely in that finals. It's just they didn't have no plot. Neither of those teams have plot. But what do y'all think?
I mean, with the bias, the Nuggets got swept. So
the MVP got swept up.
Yeah, I got swept round 2 by the Suns. So it wasn't great, but it was still overall. Give it a 7.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that one. We don't like Giannis. Well, I didn't like Giannis because what he said about Harden. So
yeah, he got my man.
That don't just go away. So, so I definitely didn't want to see him win it. He is a likable dude, obviously, but it's like he had a history with Harden. So for that reason, I didn't like him. But Harden left, so hindsight, I guess it don't really matter now. But yeah, that one, I don't really remember anything. Like I always remember something.
From you remember KD? The foot on the line?
I remember it, but like that wasn't. I don't know. That wasn't that impactful for me, I guess. So I'll probably get on like a 6.5, maybe just a 6.
That was an exciting playing game. Curry versus LeBron. I was very excited. I was like, these two players should not be in the playing game, and that's when LeBron was making fun of the playing game, saying this is so freaking stupid. He likes that playing game now, though. You're the 10th seed, now you like the playing game. When you were the 7th seed, I hate this. Now you're the 10th seed, you love it. I feel you. Contradiction is beautiful. Zach, what do you think?
I give it a 6. Definitely not as good as last season. I give it a 6 for a few reasons. One, I got to watch the Suns lose, so that's awesome. That's don't like the Suns. I know y'all don't like Giannis for his comments he made towards Harden. Although I feel like it was a mutual disrespect to each other, because I think he used to always just say all he has is one move, and that's just.
He said that after. He said that after, because Giannis kept.
I couldn't remember if he started it. I figured it was Giannis that started it, just because it's Giannis. He don't take nothing serious. He's a goof.
It pissed me off though, but we're good now.
But yeah, and then also that little run that the Hawks went on was pretty cool to watch. Who really expected the Hawks to go to the conference finals?
They were in Game 6 too. It was like I was like, the Hawks will make.
They were literally right there. Now I think they would have lost to the Suns for sure. The Suns I feel like would have won, but
nobody would have watched that finals.
Huh?
Nobody would have watched. That would have been the least watched finals in history.
I think it was already. No, actually, it was pretty heavy. Was it heavily watched?
It was less watched than normal.
Was it? Okay, it's the LeBron effect.
But the Trae Young effect don't exist. There would have been no one watching that. It would have been Hawks fans and Suns fans. It would have been.
Well, Atlanta would have been turned up though. Like when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, but yeah,
they couldn't finish that. There's no tough, but yeah, the Hawks would have bored. I mean, the Hawks, even if it was 7-game Super Series, you have 100,000 people watching it. So Zach, what did you rate it from 1 to 10? If you did, what'd you rate it?
I give it a 6. Like kind of like a so-so rating, you know. Like there were some things I liked, some things I didn't really like, but I give it a 6.
And then we enter the last one, last year's postseason. And last year's postseason, you know, Steph Curry had his good plot run. It was good. You know, Nikola Jokic had no one. John Morant got hurt. The Suns blew their lead and ruined their stuff. And then Jason Tatum completely disappeared in the finals. So that's good for Steph Curry. But it was more legitimate than his other championships. So congratulations on that. Which is stupid how even multiple people getting injured, that's still more legitimate than everything you've done before. Good for you. Plot always comes back to you. They said let's give him a pass. Let's do a little more for. Let's not give him too much, but let's let him win still because it's plot. Good for you. But besides that, Luka Doncic. Oh, John, what you about to say?
Oh no, I was just. Go ahead.
Okay, so Luka Doncic went and dropped off the Suns. Devin Booker looked at the camera and said, "Luka Magic," and then obviously his plot went downhill from there. Immediately, which is hilarious and terrible for him. The Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies was entertaining. Remember Patrick Beverley was so happy when they beat the Clippers and like they won a championship. So congratulations on them for he threw his jersey in the crowd.
He stood on that table like he was LeBron.
Yeah, he did.
After they won that series, he stood up like he was the top of the world.
He was happy, and Karl-Anthony Towns was kissing his girlfriend. It was like they just solved world hunger, but they were happy. They Minnesota Timberwolves were very happy that day. And when you're a team that has no plot, it's fine to celebrate because they have no plot. So, from one moment, they faced another team that had no plot as well, and they won. So,
it started off competitive against the Grizzlies, though, right?
It was very competitive. Yeah, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves just kept blowing leads because they have no plot. They got blown. They got blown leads because no one wants to see the Timberwolves get too far. Like their first round, we'll give you that, but no, we're not. No second round. We don't want face to face and Golden State. That's not gonna do nothing for us. We need to see John Morant, Gideon, Gritty, and all that. We need that. We need John Morant. So there you go. But let me see what else happened. What happened in the East? The East was kind of chill. I feel like. Oh no, Jason Tatum and Milwaukee. Those two were going back. Oh, and KD got swept. That's tough. Yeah, KD got swept in that first one. That was pretty terrible for him and Kyrie. And it's funny, KD got swept the same year Steph Curry won a championship. That sucks for you. That hurts your legacy. That definitely hurts your legacy a lot. So yeah, I'll give it it was cool. The conference finals was cool too. Heat, kind of random 1 seed, but Jimmy Butler took a 3 because he said he got the balls to steal. He took a 3 instead of trying to win, go to the finals. You're trying to make an all-time Miami Heat moment. Instead, you got an all-time Miami Heat blunder. They end up, obviously losing. I give it a 7.5. I give it was cool. Steph Curry winning again, kind of was like, but I saw he faced Jason Tatum. I was like, I literally compare Celtics Warriors to Eagles and Chiefs. I literally compared because I was like, the 6'3" light-skinned man who's the main character clearly gonna win this. He's clearly now the other team may make it competitive for moments and times, but I was like, that's clearly more important for his plot than the other team's plot. Jason Tatum won championship. Congratulations, you won a championship. Steph Curry win championship. You're top 10 all time, baby. Plot. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'll give this one like an 8.5. Just off of that meme created by Patrick Beverley alone. Like, I like when they like. There's more to it than just basketball being played. Like there's stories behind it. Like KD getting swept, and then you got Curry winning his. So obviously you see who's more important. Things like so. It was a lot going on behind the scenes, not just the basketball being played on the court. So yeah, I'll give this one an 8.5. Oh, it's just funny that Patrick Beverley is always behind something. Like he's the reason for the KD saying I'm Kevin Durant. Like he's always behind something. He's just entertaining.
He's very entertaining. I miss Pat, man. I miss Pat. I miss you in Houston, man.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at trading. Yeah, I'm not mad we traded him. I got Chris Paul. I'm not mad at that. But we do miss you though. Jared, what do you think?
I'd go 6.5.
You lost in 5, huh? Is that why?
Yeah, Nuggets had the Warriors first round. Lost in 5.
What a way the MVP to start it off, huh?
Yeah. It's not a good start to the postseason. But overall, it was solid. You can see the plot unfolding like you saw. Yeah.
The plot. Because at the same time, funny, Steph Curry win championship. James Harden faces the Heat, Game 6. Terrible. He takes 0 shots, I think, in the second half. Chris Paul, Game 7, hits a 3, down 40. They make a meme on that. Chris Paul hits a 3 to cut the lead to 42. Chris Paul has like 1 point entering the fourth quarter. So it's like the 3 people, like KD, Harden, and Chris Paul, all 3 of them literally hurt their legacy while Steph Curry increased his. Because that is plot. Yeah, that's good. Steph, you're the main character, man. What can I say? You're the main character. I just bowed out to you. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Jared, if you face him in the second round, and Zach, if you face him in the first round, I don't know. Plot is strong. I don't know. Main characters.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. He's Steph Curry get hot. Your legacy hurt and shambles. Zach, what do you think about last year's postseason?
So with this series, I'd give it like an 8. Only because I don't really care that the Warriors won it. I honestly, personally, would have rather watched the Celtics. But watching Andrew Wiggins kind of not necessarily revive his career, because he was always a really pretty good scorer. It's just a lot of people always said his stats were empty just because it never led to any wins. Like, he didn't lead them anywhere. And then taking him to the Warriors, where he's their best defender, basically the whole playoffs. He was like the most important player in that whole finals series, especially. So that was pretty cool to watch. I always like watching players kind of revive or prove the doubters and all that. I always like kind of watching that, even as a Kings fan, watching it for as like just a regular sports fan. And then, since I haven't seen the Kings go in a while, I kind of rooted for the Mavs in this one just because I grew up close to Dallas. So I was like, well, I'll go for the home team for now. My team ain't going for a while. Little do I know they go this year.
You were wrong, man.
But yeah, that was fun watching that too. It kind of showed how much they really needed Jalen Brunson, a secondary ball handler next to Luka. It really showed this season how they shouldn't have let him walk, but and then Jason Kidd isn't helping, but that's another story. But yeah, that was a fun playoff to watch.
And Clay,